Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. David here with another cryptocurrency update. We just passed 1,000 subscribers. I want to personally thank each and every one of you by name. So I took some time yesterday. I wrote all of your names down here on this paper. I'm going to go ahead and start from number 1,000, and we're going to read down to the first subscriber that I ever had. Starting with number 1,000. Just kidding. Not going to read all the names. But seriously, thank you guys for joining the channel, liking, subscribing, and definitely sharing these videos with your friends and family. If and when another bull run comes and all of your assets are on a Ledger Nano S, what are you going to do? You know, the Ledger does not directly connect. The Nano does not directly connect to the Bitcoin Ledger, okay? If you, during a time of a bull run, let's say that your XRP was climbing and it was going from 35 cents to $1.50, what are you going to do? Is every single share or coin that you hold in this crypto space locked up on a ledger that does not connect to Bitcoin? There was a problem during one of the last bull runs where the ledger system got bogged down due to heavy traffic. There was so many people trying to not only send coins off of the exchanges, but that were trying to get their coins off of their Nano back to Bitcoin. Back to the Bitcoin ledger. That's definitely a problem, because if you just have enough time to get your coins off the ledger and back into the Bitcoin ledger, just to miss the move. If everything you have is tied up on your ledger and you have not left anything on the exchanges, you know, there's supposed to be a day in the beginning of January coming up where everybody is supposed to be pulling their coins off the exchanges in an attempt to break some of these exchanges. First of all, don't participate in this. We need to support these exchanges, and we need to support all of these entities that are trying to bring cryptocurrency forward. All of the exchanges that are trying to give us access and provide liquidity and create a fluid and functioning cryptocurrency market, those are the people that you're going to be punishing. It's not like the governments in these countries or the powers that be are going to get hurt. It's literally going to be those exchanges. So that's something you need to be careful of. If all of your money is tied up on the ledger, and let's say that the ledger ends up getting bogged down, that's basically the same concept of an exchange that you trade on shutting down due to high traffic or high volume. If there's too many people trying to send coins one direction or another during a spike in traffic, there could be a problem within the system fully functioning. Not to say that there will be. I know that there was. I know that the ledger system had issues and did freeze and wouldn't allow people's transactions. So what happens is the ledger, the Nano ledger connects to the Bitcoin ledger, meaning that they'll connect and communicate only once your keys are provided from the Nano S, which means you have to plug your Nano S into the computer. The Nano S ledger will only communicate with Bitcoin once your private keys have been authenticated through your Nano S. Which means if you're plugging in your Nano S during a time of high traffic and everybody is flooding the Nano S system with orders or requests to fill. Now, take in mind, Nano has grown since January and December of 2017 and the beginning of 2018. No question they've grown. There's no question in my mind that they're ready to handle what's going to be considered the next bump in volume or the next spike. And it's a company and a product that's shipped out of France. The question is, are the servers in France? Is their whole business in France? Is everything that you're going to be relying on to be functioning at the time? Is it Binance that you're relying on? Is it Coinbase that you're relying on? Those are things that we need to ask. That is section 1 of this video. The next section we're going to go into, we're going to get into some hypotheticals about prices and calculations. You know, with the total global remittances estimated at around $600 billion, some people get really frustrated when we make claims of $95 and $9,500 per XRP or $250,000 per Bitcoin. These are not unrealistic numbers if the market is to evolve in the way that we believe it's going to. If we think that cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and XRP are going to be the things that start to hold together the financial world that at this point is splitting at the ends. 600 billion. We have to take in mind this whole XRP and Bitcoin thing is possibly opening up new cross-border remittances that we don't even know yet, based on technological lackings or governmental stoppages. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink really quick. It's my sponsor for the day. So they might not be tapped. We might be opening up new corridors to remittances. So as we look at the $600 billion a year, the estimated $600 billion that happens in cross-border remittances around the globe, and we look at the opportunity for XRP or for your favorite cryptocurrency that might be working in that direction to actually take over that market. XRP has the strongest ability to take over 1% or all percents of that $600 billion. So we're going to go ahead and do some calculations because, you know, countries without proper institutionalized banking systems or a place where cross-border remittances have not really been possible due to technological lackings, there could still be major hurdles in front of this technology, no question. But I feel like the sky is the limit. Listen, I think the sky is the limit once people get off the merry-go-round of these fiat currencies and they jump in to the independent financial well-being, meaning you have to take control of your assets. You can't just let Charles Schwab or TD Ameritrade trade hedge funds for you and think that that's going to just keep clicking forever. Here we go into the calculations. The daily volume of XRP. Now, somebody told me to try and get through these calculations quickly because you get lost with these numbers. And I have it easier because I'm looking at the numbers, so it makes a little bit more sense. But the daily volume, and I checked this through the XRP volume website, 347.5 million. The possible daily volume, meaning if we could not take over the entire 600 billion, but let's say we created a new $600 billion corridor or channel from a country that doesn't have that type of access like we spoke about earlier. $600 billion is the estimate that we're going to go with. Divide that $600 billion by 365 days. That will take your daily average volume from what it is now, 347 million current daily XRP volume, to 1.644 billion. So it'll go from 347 million to $1.6 billion in daily volume. If and when that happens, and you took the current price, at least when I made this chart yesterday, before we started to fall, XRP's current price was 36 cents, and you timed that by 1.7x in volume, the instant price of $1.70 is a sustainable price. No question. At those levels, with $1.6 billion in volume coming in, $1.70 XRP would be the baseline. Okay, cool. So I'm not going to call a $95 XRP in this video. It's not a call and it's not a prediction. I've told you guys this before. If you don't have the ability to separate what speculation is and what calculation is, if I'm going to tell you that XRP is going to take over the world and every single fiat dollar is going to come rushing into XRP and we're going to be the king of all kings, that would be speculation. This is purely a calculation. $600 billion divided by 365 days is $1.64 billion in daily volume. That's 1.7 times the current daily volume that we have. Okay, there we go. So we can easily get to $1.70. All we need to do is keep pushing the markets forward. So I was doing a little bit more research, and I was really concerned and questioning whether or not it's still possible for you and I to invest money into this cryptocurrency space using credit cards. During the bull run of 2017 and 18 in January and late December of 2017, there was a massive bull run taking place. A lot of you guys might be wondering, where did all of this money come from? Guess what? Almost every single exchange, Coinbase, down the list, if they accepted fiat dollars, if they have ability for you to connect your bank account to their site, you would have literally had the opportunity to purchase almost equally as much cryptocurrency with your credit card. So as we get into the next bull run and we start to question what happened during the run-up of the beginning of 2018 and the subsequent crash, is that exchanges were shutting down one after the next, due to increased volume. So it comes back to that thing that we discussed with the Ledger Nano S. Increased volume shuts some of these sites down instantly because they weren't necessarily prepared for the volume to increase like that. Their servers weren't ready, their employees weren't ready, they couldn't handle the amount of complaints or problems or kickbacks. So everything froze. And if it didn't freeze due to lackings in the technology, it froze because the owners of those companies, the stockholders, the shareholders, whatever it is, they had to push the pause button because it just was not functioning at a high enough level. So let's get into Uphold, because Uphold is one of the newer, I don't want to say newer, but as far as XRP goes, they're trying to storm over Coinbase. In California and the United States, Uphold is trying to do big things. And they're trying to take, I don't want to say take over, but trying to move past Coinbase. Uphold is claiming that they offer credit card purchases. As I did a little bit more digging, so you have to be careful who you're going to purchase from, why, when, and where. Okay, you always have to question, do your research, read what they're doing for you and to you. If you purchase cryptocurrency, and I don't know, if you use Uphold and you've purchased crypto with your credit card, not your debit card, please comment down below. This is serious. They charge a 4% fee to make a purchase through your credit card. The question is, why do they charge that fee? Because Visa itself charges a merchant account, I think 1.5 to 2.5 or 3% per transaction that they take through a credit card. So basically the possible thing that we're looking at here is that Uphold is actually profiting 1.5% on each person that they sell cryptocurrency to through their credit card, which I do not like at all. I do not think that that is good. And that's what we were saying, is that the rise in 2017, it could have really been influenced by the amount of money that was coming in. I was making purchases through my credit card. There was less access to physical capital, cash on hand, so the ability for me to make a purchase through a credit card was such a blessing. And I remember exactly the process, and it was through Coinbase that it happened with me the morning that they cut off credit card purchases. I don't remember the exact day that it happened, but I remember it specifically because I woke up early in the morning and XRP or whatever coin that I was deciding to want to purchase more of that morning was like slamming down in price. So I went onto my Coinbase and I put in my order, put in the credit card information, and it kicked back. Not only did it kick back, but it was an instantaneous kickback. The bank said no, Coinbase said no, everybody was saying no almost simultaneously. That access was just stopped. And it wasn't like they sent out a notification to all of us at the same time and said, credit card purchases are going to be suspended. I had to get, and I remember this specifically, I had to get on the phone at about 4 or 5 in the morning with my banking institution to get them to release the funds that I was trying to use to make the purchase, because the bank was the one that was shutting it down. And I think at the time, Coinbase was still allowing the purchases, but the bank was not. Coinbase subsequently ended up shutting down all credit card purchases as well. So this is what we're saying. Can you still make your purchases through any exchange with your credit card? Or are they just putting the word credit card on there to bring more clients in, to get more people excited about their platform. Because it was pure confusion once the exchanges stopped taking credit card. Because it was just like shutdown after shutdown, credit card provider after credit card, banking institution after banking institution. They just started to decline the crypto transactions. If we end up going full circle, will they come back online? Did they get stopped because of the government? Was there some power that was telling them that they needed to cut this out because it was creating unrealistic markets? I don't know. I couldn't really tell you the answer to that question. All I could tell you is that I felt honored at the time to be in, I don't want to say early enough, but just in time to be able to experience all of these different things that a lot of the newer investors from March, April, all of that time and beyond, second half of 2018, they might not have experienced it. They might not have had the same opportunities that we did as investors to go through some of these hiccups and experience some of these losses. Yeah, we've all got our losses. Anybody who's invested into cryptocurrency, unless you're day trading or you're doing algorithmic moving or you're trading on arbitrage. That's very interesting, trading on arbitrage. I'm going to have another sip of my Monster. Arbitrage is really interesting. Exchanges don't always show the same price. Like we discussed, Coinbase, for the most part, shows a lower price than Binance. And Kraken might have a different price than Huobi. And, KuCoin might have a different price than Gemini. So as we look at what the arbitrage trading is arbitrage would be buying XRP, let's say, on a site like Gemini, that let's say it's trading at 32 cents on Gemini's platform. Buy it at 32 cents on Gemini, send it to your KuCoin account, and let's say it's trading at 34 cents on KuCoin. That's arbitrage. That's an instantaneous profit of 2 cents just to make the switch. Basically, buy it low here, move it over here, and just basically sell it at the price it's trading at. Buy market here, sell market here. There's arbitrage plays going on all over this community. Not to say that it's possible to catch those plays all the time, because in your processes, and it's the same thing we spoke about with the Nano, if you try to move your asset from one place to another, you could really just miss the main move. It might not necessarily work out the way you thought it was going to, because let's say you sell at 32 cents and then you start your move over to the second exchange where you're going to make your arbitrage play. But let's say it goes down or it fluctuates in the 2 minutes or the 1 minute or the 30 seconds because your arbitrage play isn't protecting you. That's why a lot of these higher end institutional asset-backed players, they're not necessarily going to be getting in until that liquidity is locking in both sides of that price. The front and the back end of that XRP transaction has to be locked. That's why the liquidity providers through XRP, whether it be BitMEX or Coins.ph, the Philippine exchange, the Mexican exchange, as they're exchanging Filipino peso to Mexican peso, there has to be a guaranteed XRP price during the time that XRP is in transition. Because if the price fluctuates, this comes down to the problem. If the price fluctuates during your move, not only will your arbitrage not work, but you will literally lose money on those plays. And I've told you this before. There's not really been too many moves in my cryptocurrency career that have, where even if it was an arbitrage play, which I have not done, I don't try and get into these fancy, someone brought up, do we know Elliott waves and do we know, the Fibonacci retracements and all this stuff? No, we don't know it unless we follow people or we study it. These aren't things that regular day-to-day investors or cryptocurrency purchasers, especially if they're not living in America or Europe or Japan or South Korea, in these places with beautiful educational systems or the ability to do objectified research and to be able to figure things out on your own. Those don't necessarily exist across the world. Some parts in the Sudan or wherever, in the Middle East, Dubai. I'm sure Dubai is very smart and educated. Wow, what a crazy place Dubai is, man, with the Burj Khalifa. I want to go there someday. We'll check it out. Maybe we'll have to switch Liechtenstein for... I think we're going to have to switch Liechtenstein because digital asset investors is already taken over Liechtenstein. So I think we're going to have to change it. If you guys have a place that you want to meet up that hasn't been taken already, because I know CKJ's got Bora Bora and digital asset investors got Liechtenstein, and who has Bora Bora? Alex Cobb? I don't know. We'll have to pick somewhere. You guys in the comment section start that conversation. Where do we want to meet once XRP starts to actually moon again? And I'll be moon boy number 1. It's fine. We got a bunch of moon boys and girls in here. But the benefit is that you guys are all seriously educated. You follow people who are seriously educated, and you discuss this currency and the advancements in this space with people who know what they're talking about. Not only in this space, but in the regular financial industries as well. Never discredit somebody's opinion. There's always going to be somebody out there who knows something different than you, who's experienced something different than you, an older person who's experienced loss, a younger person who's experienced love in life. You have to be able to listen and evolve and try to mimic the positive in those around you, because that will only inherently make you more positive and more of a blessed person as you walk through this life. I hope you guys all enjoyed this 21-minute and 19-second video. Please do let me know if you made it to this point, because that's crazy. It took me a long time to record it, just like it took you a long time to watch it. I do appreciate all the new subscribers, the commenters. For the most part, 98% of you guys are amazing. It's one of the things I'm having trouble with is, do I let the trolls stay on? And I think as the channel grows, it'll be less and less exciting for the deleting of the troll comments, and I think they'll just have to live and breathe on this page, just like the rest of the positive comments, because the 100 positive comments are going to outweigh the 1 or 2 negative comments all day. I hope you guys have a blessed evening, morning, afternoon, night, as Mr. Truman says from The Truman Show. And if I don't see you, have a good evening, a good afternoon, and a good night. No, that's not how it goes. But I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next episode.